Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of the wilderness to witness a truly fascinating and tense standoff. On one side, we have a formidable predator, a snake, known for its stealth, patience, and deadly efficiency. And on the other, a creature armed with one of nature's most effective defense mechanisms, the porcupine. The big question on everyone's mind is, will the snake succeed in making a meal out of this prickly prey? Let's get right into the action and find out. Here we see our snake, slowly and deliberately closing the distance. Notice its movements so smooth and calculated. Snakes are ambush predators, and they often rely on the element of surprise. This one seems to be assessing the situation, trying to find an opening, a weak spot. It's a high-stakes game of chess, where one wrong move could be the last. The snake's tongue is flicking in and out, tasting the air, gathering crucial information about its potential meal. It knows this isn't just any ordinary rodent. This is a porcupine, and that means danger. Now, look at the porcupine. It's fully aware of the threat. Its body language screams back off. The quills, which are essentially modified hairs with sharp, barbed tips, are raised in a clear warning display. An adult porcupine can have over 30,000 of these formidable weapons. They aren't just for show. They can easily detach and become embedded in a predator's skin. The porcupine isn't aggressive by nature. It would rather be left alone. It's turning its back towards the snake, presenting its most fortified side. This is a classic defensive posture, saying, if you want a piece of me, you'll have to go through this wall of spikes. The snake circles, undeterred for now. It's looking for an angle, perhaps aiming for the porcupine's head or underbelly, the only areas not covered in quills. This is incredibly risky. A strike to the face is the snake's best bet, but it's also the most dangerous. A mouthful of quills could be a death sentence. These quills, once embedded, are notoriously difficult to remove due to their microscopic backward-facing barbs. They can work their way deeper into the flesh with muscle movement, causing severe pain, infection, and potentially puncturing vital organs. Many predators, including cougars, bobcats, and even other snakes, have been found starved to death with their mouths and digestive tracts pierced by porcupine quills. Our snake seems to understand the risk. It's hesitating. You can almost see the internal conflict, the primal instinct to hunt versus the instinct for self-preservation. It lunges forward in a quick, exploratory strike, but pulls back almost immediately. It didn't make full contact. It was a test, a feint to see how the porcupine would react. The porcupine, in response, shuffles and rattles its quills, creating an audible warning sound. It's a clear and unmistakable message. Many animals in the wild use sound to deter threats, and the porcupine's rattle is one of the most effective. Let's talk a bit more about these incredible quills. They are not thrown or shot out, as some myths suggest. A porcupine has to make physical contact for the quills to do their job. When a predator touches the porcupine, the quills detach easily from the porcupine's skin and lodge firmly into the attacker. The snake, with its soft fleshy mouth, is particularly vulnerable. A single quill in the jaw could prevent it from eating, leading to a slow and agonizing end. That's why this encounter is so captivating. The snake's hunger is pitted against one of the most perfect defensive systems in the animal kingdom. The snake makes another move, this time trying to get around the porcupine's rear. But the porcupine is agile, quicker than you might think. It keeps its spiky backside aimed squarely at the danger. It's a dance of death, a slow, methodical ballet where the slightest misstep from either animal could be fatal. The snake is persistent, a testament to its drive to survive. It might not have eaten in days or even weeks, and this porcupine represents a substantial meal that could sustain it for a long time. But is the reward worth the potentially lethal risk? We're seeing the snake reevaluating. It's moving away slightly, perhaps giving up for a moment to reconsider its strategy. Or maybe the pain of a previous failed hunt is flashing through its instincts. It's important to remember that animals learn from experience. If this snake has had a negative encounter with a porcupine before, or has seen another predator fall victim to those quills, it might be having second thoughts. The porcupine, sensing a possible retreat, doesn't let its guard down. It remains vigilant, quills erect, ready for the snake to resume its attack. It knows the danger isn't over until the snake is long gone. But wait, the snake is coming back. The hunger is too strong to ignore. This time, it seems more determined. It's getting lower to the ground, trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. It's a battle of wills. The snake is banking on its patience, hoping the porcupine will eventually make a mistake, perhaps get tired, or present an unguarded angle for just a split second. That's all a snake needs. A single, perfectly timed, and perfectly aimed strike. It's fascinating to watch this raw display of instinct. There's no malice here, just two creatures doing what they were born to do to survive. The snake lunges again. This time it's faster, more committed, but the porcupine is ready. It pivots with incredible speed and presents its wall of daggers. We can't see for sure if any quills made contact, but the snake recoils quickly. A direct hit could have left several quills embedded in its face. It appears the snake was not successful. It now seems to be moving with a bit more caution, perhaps even discomfort. It's possible it got a minor prick, a sharp reminder of the porcupine's potent defense. Even a small taste of that pain is often enough to deter even the most determined hunter. Look at that. The snake is turning away. It's slowly slithering off into the underbrush. The porcupine remains frozen for a moment, making sure the threat has truly passed, before finally lowering its quills. It stands its ground, victorious without having to land a single blow. Its defense was so perfect, so intimidating, that the predator decided the fight wasn't worth it. This is a huge win for the porcupine. It gets to live another day, and the snake has learned a valuable, albeit hungry, lesson. So, to answer our initial question, will the snake successfully catch the porcupine? In this instance, the answer is a resounding no. The porcupine's incredible defense mechanism proved to be too much for the snake. The risk of injury or death from those thousands of sharp quills outweighed the potential reward of a meal. This is a perfect example of how evolution has created a finely tuned balance in nature, where even the most fearsome predators have to respect the defensive capabilities of their prey. It's not always about size or strength. Sometimes, the best offense is a really good defense. What an incredible encounter to witness. It really highlights the constant drama of survival that plays out in the wild every single day. The snake will have to find an easier meal, and the porcupine can go back to its business of foraging for plants and bark. Both will live to see another day, thanks to their incredible, evolution-honed instincts. Nature is truly amazing, isn't it? Thank you so much for joining us for this intense watch. Ever wondered about that spiky creature that looks like a walking pincushion? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the porcupine. Get ready to have your perceptions sharpened, because there's so much more to them than just their famous quills. So, first things first, let's bust a major myth. Porcupines can't shoot their quills like arrows. I know, it's a cool image, but it's pure fiction. These quills are actually modified hairs, made of keratin, the same stuff as our fingernails. They're loosely attached, so when a predator gets too close for comfort, a quick flick of the tail is all it takes for the quills to detach and embed themselves in the unfortunate attacker. It's a brilliant defense mechanism, but it's purely passive. There are two main families of porcupines: the Old World porcupines found in Africa, Europe, and Asia, and the New World porcupines from North and South America. They might share a name in a spiky defense, but they're not closely related. Old World porcupines are terrestrial, meaning they stick to the ground. They're often larger and have quills clustered in groups. Think of the African crested porcupine, with its dramatic black and white spines that it can raise into an intimidating crest. On the other hand, New World porcupines, like the ones you might see in North America, are excellent climbers. They spend a lot of their time in trees, thanks to their long, sharp claws and, for some species, a prehensile tail that acts like a fifth limb. This allows them to navigate the canopy with surprising agility, searching for their favorite foods. And what do these prickly critters eat? You might be surprised to learn they are herbivores. Their diet changes with the seasons. In the spring and summer, they munch on a variety of plants, including leaves, twigs, clover, and even water lilies. They have a particular fondness for salt. You might find them gnawing on axe handles, canoe paddles, or even road signs treated with road salt. It's a vital mineral for them. When winter rolls around and green vegetation is scarce, their diet shifts dramatically. They turn to the inner bark of trees, called the cambium layer. This is why you might see trees with patches of bark stripped away, a telltale sign of a porcupine's winter feeding. While this can sometimes damage trees, it's just a porcupine trying to survive the cold months. Now, let's talk about their social lives. Porcupines are generally solitary animals. They prefer their own company, foraging, and resting alone. You'll rarely see a group of porcupines hanging out. The main exception is during the winter, when several might share a den to conserve heat, or during the mating season in late autumn. Speaking of mating, their courtship is a surprisingly complex and vocal affair. The male performs an elaborate dance and vocalizes with whines, grunts, and even tooth chattering to woo a female. Given their spiky exterior, you might be wondering how they manage to mate. Well, it's a very careful process. The female flattens her quills and presents her underside to the male, ensuring a safe, if brief, encounter. After a gestation period of about 7 months, the female gives birth to a single baby, called a porcupet. Isn't that adorable? A porcupet is born with its eyes open and a full coat of soft, pliable quills. These quills harden within hours of birth, providing immediate protection. The mother is very nurturing, and the porcupet stays with her for several months, learning how to find food and navigate the world before venturing out on its own. Despite their formidable defense, porcupines do have natural predators. Great horned owls, fishers, wolverines, and coyotes have all learned ways to get past the quills. The fisher, a member of the weasel family, is particularly adept. It's quick and agile, repeatedly attacking the porcupine's face, which is the only area not covered in quills, until the animal is weakened. But the biggest threat to porcupines often comes from humans. Habitat loss and vehicle collisions are significant dangers. Many people misunderstand them, seeing them only as pests that damage trees. However, they play a role in their ecosystem. Their bark stripping can thin out dense forest stands, allowing more sunlight to reach the forest floor and promoting new growth. Porcupines are also quite vocal. They communicate with a range of sounds, from moans and grunts to high-pitched shrieks and coughs, especially when they feel threatened or are interacting with other porcupines. Their eyesight isn't great, but they have a keen sense of smell and hearing to help them navigate and find food. One of the most remarkable things about porcupine quills is their structure. They aren't smooth needles. Under a microscope, you can see they're covered in tiny, backward-facing barbs. These barbs make the quills easy to penetrate but incredibly difficult and painful to remove. The quill's design allows it to work its way deeper into the muscle tissue with the victim's own movements. It's a brutally effective deterrent. So, what should you do if you encounter a porcupine in the wild? The best advice is to simply give it space. They are not aggressive and will almost always choose to walk away rather than confront a human. If you have a dog, keep it on a leash, as a curious canine is the most common recipient of a face full of quills, leading to a very unpleasant and expensive trip to the vet. Admire them from a distance and appreciate these unique, slow-moving, and fascinating creatures for what they are. From their myth-busting defense system to their trek-climbing prowess and adorable babies, the porcupine is truly an underrated marvel of the animal kingdom. They are a testament to how evolution can create unique solutions for survival. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of porcupines. I hope you learned something new. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.